Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
A lot of newsies maybe listen to the podcast for the first time.
Newsies, that's like the musical? They're wearing those newsboy caps?
They're like, hey, I want to hear the news from Lisa.
Hey.
I got to listen to this.
All the businesses that are closing in your hometown of Orono since you've arrived.
Dollar store, which was next to the liquor store, gone. LCBO, you see ya. The insurance agency, bye-bye. I'm the mayor. Orono General Store, they do a great job. You get the salon, get my hair cut there. The flower shop.
Oh, there's a flower shop?
A couple chocolate bars, cut them up into a bunch of pieces, then you have a little piece of crunchy, you have a little piece of a Twix. It's perfect, and it looks elegant.
I don't know about elegant, but I'm with you on the flavor. Delicious. But you could just simply get the small Halloween size ones if you wanted.
This is better for the environment. You should never even brush the surface. Brush the surface? Touch the surface?
Scratched?
Scratch the surface.
Hello, I'm Dan. I've just arrived from Vancouver. I rollerbladed to my workplace every day.
Thanks to all our new listeners, the newsies. Welcome on board.
Daddy needs his rimmer.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast, presented by our good friends at Coors Light.
Brewed cold, filtered cold, packaged cold. Phrasing. That's.
It's the week of April 9th, 2018. Sure as hell doesn't feel like it, doesn't look like it. We're doing highlights from around North America. We go to any city, they're wearing balaclavas.
But again, I go back to the fact I think it's been a nice winter here in the city of Toronto. Hasn't been too cold.
It's been fine, but April showers bring May flowers, not April freeze your off.
Freezing cold weather. April freezing cold weather brings more freezing cold weather. That's another saying from our youths. Man, Tulsi, that was a great podcast last week. Man, a lot of great feedback about Lisa too. She was fantastic.
We were discussing Lisa, and obviously a tragic week in Canada with the bus accident in Saskatchewan that took 15 lives much too soon. And Lisa, not in the building tonight, reporting live from that event because, as we were discussing, Lisa has to go where there's sadness.
Yeah, every time
the national news goes where there's tragedy.
Anything tragic on the planet, she immediately makes it there. I mean, she talked about 9/11, right? The first thing on her mind was, I got to get there. She wants to be on the ground. The community vigil was Sunday night. I believe she was already there. Yeah, she'll probably be there for a few more days. I imagine there'll be lots more to talk about. More news today coming out. And they said of the 12 people remaining in hospital, 4 in critical condition, 4 serious, 4 stable.
Ryan Rashog is there for us, and
man, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, you see these people.
So good.
You see these people do their regular jobs, which is reporting on hockey and reporting on sports, and then thrown into a role that you never want to be in, that you're not accustomed to, because these things rarely happen, thank goodness. But Ryan on the scene, just encapsulating what's going on there, and sent him a note last night. I said, man, you're doing a hell of a job in such a difficult situation.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't agree with you more. Even you and I, when we were getting ready to do our first show since the accident occurred last night, so we did it Sunday night. So it's 2 days after the accident had happened. And obviously you have time to process it a little bit. But still, just leading into that show, we've done thousands of shows, it seems. And you're just sort of nervous at that show. You want to be able to articulate your thoughts clearly. You want to be able to do justice to the victims. You want to be able to also paint a picture of what exactly is going on in Humboldt. It's so difficult. And for Ryan to have gone through the community vigil, he actually was there. He's there witnessing everything happening, and then be able to articulate it in such an eloquent way. I think he's just doing an amazing job. And Frank Saravalli as well is covering. They had a vigil in Saskatoon. Frank was there for that one. And now I believe he's in Humboldt with Ryan. So, yeah, incredible. In fact, Ryan today interviewed Chris Joseph, whose son passed away in the crash. Man, first of all, credit to Chris Joseph for sitting down and talking about it when, obviously the wounds are so fresh. Credit to him to opening up to Ryan and talking about how he's feeling and how the family is recovering. It's just, you just can't imagine as a parent. You cannot imagine having to go through something like that.
And the reason that it hits home with everyone is because everyone has been to one of those rinks. Everyone's been to one of those communities. And we can all, obviously we can't put ourselves in those who've lost one's shoes, but we know that. We know that's Canada. And I traveled on so many buses. In my young broadcasting days, I used to travel with the Ottawa 67s. Every bus, every hockey bus, doesn't matter what level of junior hockey, they're all the same. It's all the same stuff going on there, and that's their safe place. That's where the lifelong friendships are started. So it's just heart-wrenching, just gutting. I remember seeing the initial text come out Saturday night. Was it? No, it would have been Friday night. Friday night, and I'm lying there, and I'm like, I don't want to get an update before I fall asleep, because the word was leaking out saying this is bad, this is bad. So you could try to brace yourself on the news, but you just can't.
Well, I couldn't believe it. I heard same thing. A buddy of mine in Calgary texted me. He said, "Did you hear about this Humboldt crash? It looks bad." And we had people over that night. I hadn't even been looking at Twitter or TV or anything. And when I got on, it was already, the news had already leaked out. And the other thing you were mentioning, the buses. You spent some time in a prairie town. I grew up on the prairies. I remember my mom's from Nipawin, actually, where the bus was headed to.
We had a craft tour stop in Nipawin.
Yeah, it's just, these towns are, these SJHL teams, for example, in Saskatchewan, in a town like Humboldt, it's such a massive, massive part of the community, even more so, I would argue, than a major junior team, to a bigger city. These SJHL teams are so important to these communities, and they're entertainment. They're a thread that keeps the community binded. The community's proud of the accomplishments of these kids. It's something that brings everyone together, and you hear the stories about these kids, and they're all great kids. They're all great. They're all trying. Many of them trying to get to NCAA colleges and trying to get Division I scholarships. And the fact that that the story about the billet mom who had the three boys who lost their lives was just so devastating to me, because you see the pictures of the boys, and you've seen lots of pictures like that with billets, the way they bond with the siblings that are already in the house, and always end up being a good influence. And these boys sounded like they were really great influence on her daughters, and just terrible. You just feel bad for the billets, and before you even start speaking about the parents and how devastating it is for them.
And you mentioned the team's importance to the community. So yes, I did the Fort McMurray Oil Barons play-by-play for 3 years, and that's an understatement, the importance of that team to a community which is much larger than Humboldt. But those kids, rock stars.
Yeah.
And that's the same way around the AJHL and the SJHL in those smaller communities. That's like that's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's the big thing in town. It's not only something to pass the time, but it's something you can get behind, because it's yours. And now that's been taken away from Humboldt, but they will bounce back. There's no question about it. The generosity of people around the world with this GoFundMe page is...
It's over 6 million as of the taping of this podcast on Monday night.
It's
6 million.
Incredible. So it was already top 10 GoFundMes on the planet, largest in Canadian history. Who knows where it'll go, but that's just incredible.
Here, I had a suggestion.
That's incredible.
And I'm not calling out our company, but I'm just serving notice. We have a great... program here for all employees because of Bell Let's Talk. The hours that you're allowed to have counseling and stuff has been increased under the employee plan.
Right.
Why not donate hours?
It's a great idea.
To the people of Humboldt that are going through this, the first responders, everyone's going to need to talk to someone.
Absolutely.
And I bet you employees would say, yes, take all of
Take
mine.
them
or
all.
Take half my hours.
Take as many as you need, and we'll figure it out. And it's a terrific idea. They do have a great program here. Like a talk therapy program where you can do it over the phone. It's an incredible program. Where you talk to someone over the phone, and that to me would be such a huge thing for someone grieving, for someone going through post-traumatic stress, to be able to pick up a phone, call someone in a second, be able to talk them through it.
And I'm sure those people are on the ground right now, but in the weeks and months to come, they're eventually going to have to go back to where they're used to working, and these people are going to need help for the rest of their lives.
It's like anyone who experiences loss. The initial loss is you're in a state of shock, so you're not really truly feeling it, and B, you're surrounded by support, and obviously these people in Humboldt are surrounded by more support than ever. But like all situations like this, eventually life continues, and eventually things go back to as close to normal as you possibly can get. And so you're right, down the road, that's a terrific idea, that they would be able to have access to talk therapy, which we're such big proponents of. Mm-hmm. I think that would be an amazing thing. So, maybe we get that going. We'll call up the bosses.
I was just going to send a tweet.
That's gotten you in trouble before.
But no one, if I got in trouble for that.
No, that's true. You probably wouldn't.
And then it even hits home, well, obviously for all of us, but as broadcasters, a young man by the name of Tyler Bieber was on that bus. That was you and I. That was us cutting our teeth in the business and just doing all the small jobs in the small towns, which turned out to be amazing. That's what we always tell young broadcasters. They always come to us, what's your biggest piece of advice? We say, go to the small town, work at the radio station, work at the TV station, learn how to do every job in the place.
And you saw Kevin, the president of the Broncos, you saw him talk about Tyler Bieber. Was it Tyler Bieber?
Yep.
I think so. Tyler, the broadcaster that you're mentioning, he was as emotional, mentioning his name as anyone because, as you alluded to, you become a part of the community. When you take one of those jobs, you're everywhere. You're covering everything. You meet everyone. And that was the case with Tyler. He's on the bus with the kids. He's broadcasting the games. He's doing the call-in shows. He's doing it all.
And those coaches, just like the coaches in Fort Wayne, they're with him, the players.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember the coach of Murray would call me. He's like, hey, Tua, we got to trade. I'm like, yeah? I'd rush down there. He's like, yeah, I'm just kidding. Like, they're just bored. They're just sitting around your arena.
You're the new guy. Exactly. Someone fun to mess with a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, he was just getting started, Who knows where he would have ended up. It's really sad.
So, yeah, we're in Saskatoon in a couple weeks, so we're
there next week.
Yeah, so not this coming weekend, next, right?
Right, yeah, next Friday.
So
for the
hopefully
spring invasion.
We fly in the morning, then we fly out the next day, but hopefully our schedule allows it, and we're going to take a trip out to Humboldt and just say hello.
Hang out, and whoever wants to hang can come hang. We can just... we can just relax and we can talk about whatever. It's going to be, everything's going to be so fresh. I think it's going to be really difficult, but
we'll just commandeer the best diner in town.
I love it.
I love a good breakfast.
Me too.
Breakfast, people breakfast up all the time. It's not hard.
You're still stinging from your Easter brunch experience.
Yes.
But you pointed out that the Caesars were good, so how
but
bad
that's
could it
how
have been?
Daddy needs his rimmer.
I have to pick up some rimmer. I'm all out of rimmer.
I had a Caesar yesterday at a kid's birthday party.
Okay, anyone that doesn't have kids and the birthday party's at a house, the parents just drink.
Yeah. Sorry, I I went to the birthday party.
At lunchtime.
It was actually a little earlier than that. It was, a Caesar's nice breakfast drink, and the host made me a nice one. But what he showed me is now they have, instead of just having pickled, pickles or pickled asparagus or whatever.
Beans.
They have, now they sell on a stick like pickle, a couple of peppers, a pearl onion on the stick, ready to go, ready to plop right into that Caesar. Boom, all ready to go. It was delicious.
Give me a rimmer, and that's it. I don't want any of that other. I just take. I'm like, guys, you're wasting money.
Whoa, but you don't want anything like a pickle.
No.
What about a celery? The Go Classic with the celery stock.
I didn't order a meal. I ordered a beverage.
But a Caesar is a meal in its own way. It's the drink that drinks like a meal.
Yeah, there's nutrients in there, right?
There's lots. Oftentimes in the past, it's been all I've had for breakfast. In the dark times.
I'm trying to get a hold of Natasha Stanishevsky. She was at the Masters. I want to get her take on what that experience was like, but she's not returning my text, which is a common thing that happens to me.
So you guys text often, and you'd think she'd get right back to you and say, listen, I can't do it, or I'm drinking a Caesar with pre-made rimmer accompaniments. Actually, the other thing about this Caesar yesterday...
She might be driving. I think she's actually on her en route, so she's being a safe driver.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's good. So that's good that she's not answering. The other thing about that Caesar, he had purchased a keg brand rimmer for the Caesar. Pretty tasty. Keg brand. That's what you get with your keg-sized Caesars.
Daddy needs his rimmer.
So on Friday, that's our usual day off. We usually have Friday, Saturday off. I had to work.
Why?
I had other hosting duties on a rival TV show.
Oh, this is incredible. And I wish we had gotten a few clips. I totally forgot about this.
Totally.
Like, I forgot totally.
I was a co-host on The Social.
Yes, you were. First of all, my overall impression, I thought you did really well.
Oh, thanks.
I would say, however, that you started off like you were shot out of a cannon. You had some one-liners. The crowd loved you. Yeah. You were funny. You were talking about what if your boss, the person you're commenting on their scent is your boss. You had all these good lines. Then as the episode went on, we noticed, Mrs. Onright and me, that you seemed to be fading a little bit. That your energy was lagging.
Here's the thing, because
you were in a daze.
They started bringing out models, and the color of the month was lavender.
Lavender, yeah.
I can't say anything because the lady next to me, she's talking all about the fashion and stuff. I'm trying to get I got questions in.
Yeah.
But
you also missed, you had a part where you were supposed to read prompter, and you totally missed that.
Oh, right. I thought someone else was going to be talking.
But you're a host. Didn't they rehearse with you?
They did. I was just taking all the sights and sounds in.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What was your overall thought about the experience?
Great. I didn't know they did the show live.
Yeah.
I thought they pre-taped. Well-run operation down there.
Oh, before we get to more of that, Ben Teller.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so Ben is our former social media guy at Fox in L.A. He joins us. We don't know why. So one of the questions on The Social, which I co-hosted on Friday, Ben, we were just talking about that, was, is it okay to comment on a coworker's scent? And I said, no, that's so creepy.
Yeah, that's a classic Dan O'Toole no.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Ben, your thoughts on that?
No. Like a random person, hey, you smell good today?
Yeah.
At work?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like a dude and you're in the elevator and it's like, oh, what's that cologne you got going on? Maybe?
No,
that's
still,
sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's sexual harassment right there.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on anyone's cologne ever.
Exactly. So,
and they said, still wearing cologne?
They said, what about if a woman compliments a man? I said, no.
No.
Both ways.
Both ways. Didn't everyone see that Michael Douglas Demi Moore movie where she gave him a job and he was like, no, and then he sued her for sexual harassment? It's based on a Michael Crichton novel. You guys know, Stoff, you know what movie I'm talking about, right? Job?
I don't think I've seen that one.
The movie was called Michael Douglas Demi Moore.
Okay, so we all agree on that one. One of the other questions was, what do you think of gym selfies? I said, hell no to that, too.
But Ben, I have a feeling you've taken a few gym selfies in your day.
I side with Dan again. This is a 100% no.
Wow, you guys are really in sync here.
Yeah, wait till he hears these stories. We'll be way out of sync.
Oh, let's hear it, buddy. Okay, so take us back. Give us a little setup here.
Where did we leave off last time? Where were we?
For me, it's the 42-year-old, but I think
she's gone.
That was gone, right?
No,
that was
gone.
over.
It was hipster in LA, black on black, right?
Yes.
Okay. Her and I hanging out, went on a couple of dates. Jay, I took her to Yamashiro up in the Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
Nice restaurant. We had a good time. That was like a first official date. 2 dates. We're hanging out. It's like maybe 2 weeks. Haven't slept with each other yet. I throw a charity event. She's there. We're kind of like kissing a little bit, but you know how PDA can get when you're with a bunch of people you know. You want to make sure it's not too much if it's too soon, because you don't know where you stand and who's watching. So everything was fine. She comes over to my house, sleeps over, no sex. Not a big deal.
That's where we left it last time, right? I think
that's where we left it, yeah.
Yes,
we hadn't slept with each other, hanging out. So
that's right.
I go out of town for a week. I come back, and she was like, I really want to see you. I'm like, great. She comes over, and, we had sex.
Yes!
And look.
Do we have a hallelujah? Do we have a... Christoph, do we have something appropriate for this? Where's the banana hot dog, even? Sorry.
Add it in post.
We'll add it in post.
No, so it's
my golly, Jesus.
There it is.
So look, I think like it was a few weeks. I liked her, and the sex was good. Everything was fine. Okay. Friday is Passover. I'm with the family. Saturday, Passover. I'm with the family. A lot of Jewish traditions. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I was out of town the week before. Sunday, I wake up at 2:30. She calls me at 4. Hey, how are you? I'm like, good. How are you? We're talking. And I'm like, look, I'm with my roommate. I just want to hang out and chill. Like, she's like, oh, like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, like, I just want to chill. And she's like, you don't even want to, like, talk dirty to me right now? And I'm like, no, I don't. And she's like, oh,
what?
Oh, okay. So we ended the conversation. And I felt like she was upset at me for like not wanting to see her on Sunday.
Yes.
But I didn't. I saw her Thursday night. I wanted to chill, like whatever.
You could talk dirty still.
I wasn't. Again,
you weren't in the mood
on a Sunday while you're watching TV with your roommate on the couch.
Yes, give me the dirty talk every time.
Wow, yeah, we definitely.
There's a new drop. There's a new drop.
What the hell are you doing? You wow.
So wait, why? Well, here's my question, Ben. Why even answer the phone then?
Yeah, I look back to that, and I think I probably shouldn't have. But I would have felt guilty. Like I'm not like if I'm around my phone, I'll answer it. Like I'm a nice guy. Like whatever. But I was honest with her. Like we're talking about honesty and young adults dating. Hey, I don't want to talk dirty right now.
I think it's too early. It was too early for honesty. I think you had to fake it at that point.
And again, it's early in the relationship. You should be all over that. You should be.
Okay. This is a good. Dan, I agree with you. This is good.
So maybe the feelings aren't there.
Hold on. Yeah, we're getting there. Next day, she calls me. I'm busy, and I was kind of like feeling like she's like I miss you. And I'm like, I miss you too. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, I told you I miss you.
Yes.
Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Okay, no, you're right. I don't miss you. Like, I was like, what do you want from me? And I was like, and I said her name, and I'm like, look, like, I have a lot of fun with you. I like you. Like, I don't want something to be crazy. I may have said this, which I regret in hindsight. I said, I don't want to be with somebody who's super needy right now.
Ooh.
But, and she's like, she goes, you're right. I'm really needy. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, we'll work through it. I was like, this is going to work. Next day, I texted her. I was free. I was like, hey, do you want to get a bite to eat after work? And she writes me back, and she's like, no. Wait, hold on.
She had 24 hours to ponder it.
Hold on, I'm literally pulling this up. She goes, no. And then I'm like, why? And she goes, I'm not feeling well. I said, okay. She goes, plus, I was thinking about what you said earlier. I was like, oh, yeah, what were you thinking about? And then this is what she says, verbatim, about how I'm needy, and you're right. I am very much a needy woman, and I'm in need of a man. And it looks like you're not a man for me.
Oh.
So don't call me anymore.
Wow.
Boom.
Yes.
Wow.
I love this girl.
Wow.
It gets better. I then gave it like 30 minutes to breathe. I'm like, okay, she's upset.
A good 30 minutes.
20 minutes, whatever. I texted her back, hey, I totally understand how you feel, whatever. I would love to get coffee tomorrow if you're free. And if you have an iPhone, you know it's blue if they have an iPhone, right? And it's green if they don't have an iPhone, correct?
Right.
We know this?
Yes.
Yep.
It went green automatically. I'm like, she has an iPhone. This is weird. So I waited like a day. Didn't hear from
You
her.
made her switch to Samsung?
No. I called her the next day, straight to voicemail.
Ooh.
Called her again, straight to voicemail. Text, green. She blocked my number.
Wow.
She blocked my number.
Well, I mean,
Well, she did deliver a very stern message.
she made her feelings clear, but you weren't that into her.
No.
Yeah, what do you care?
But we didn't. No feelings were made clear. We didn't have a conversation like we had sex once.
Wait.
We went on
She
3
said
dates.
she needs a man and don't ever talk to her again. That's pretty clear.
After I saw her 2 days before that. Come on.
Yeah, she wanted some love time, and
Yeah.
you said, no, I'm hanging out with my roommate watching darts.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So
it didn't work out.
that's where it fell apart, right there.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
I'm just a penis guy.
but that's for you. That if I feel like in the long run, this is probably the right thing because whether you want to do the phone sex thing on the Sunday or now you're in the mood or not. I feel like that early in the relationship, if you're not in the mood, you'd rather just chill on the couch. Yeah. That's probably better that this one ended. Hey, you got some decent sex out of it. It's you're moving on for bigger and better things.
It should be like 6 months of nonstop everything.
Wow.
So
Tools, come.
I don't even need. I was thinking to myself how bad I needed therapy this week. Like I needed to go to therapy. I was so messed up in the head, but this is really helping me. So you're saying no big deal?
No, I don't think this is a big deal at all.
No,
I just don't think you were that into her.
Yeah, and she
Was I to her?
No, she was very blunt with you. You did try to contact her way too many times after she dumped you. But aside from that, you both weren't getting what you needed and move on. Just like we should move on from this.
No. There's
Follow
more.
up, follow up. This gets so much better.
Okay.
So then I'm like, this, get out there. So I get right back on the dating app and I just start swiping right. I'm just like, right. I'm like, anyone who likes me, I'll go on a date with. So first girl matches. We'll call her Sarah. That's not her name. She looks cute. I'm like, yeah, we're going on a date. So I texted her. I'm like, hey, how are you? She's like, blah, blah, good. I'm like, you want to meet up for a drink later? And she's like, sure. So I'm like, great. So it's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, hey, just finished dinner. Would love to meet up. And she doesn't text me back. Text me the next morning. She fell asleep. Whatever. No big deal. I'm not seeing this girl. I don't have any interest. Saturday night, 2 nights ago, I'm out, and the girl from New Year's is there.
Oh, boy.
And I am, remember her? The one who, turned me down, wouldn't work out?
Yep.
She's there, and I am drunk.
Oh, boy.
So now I'm, trying to talk to her, and that same night, I had contacted my ex-girlfriend of 4 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Guys, I went down a rabbit hole.
Holy man, this is a
Meanwhile,
very
you had
dark
one.
rabbit
You had
hole.
one there. If you just had.
No, but he wasn't into that one. And you're still holding a candle for 4 years ago. So what happened with that one?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really talked. Nothing really happened. We just talked, and she was like, I'm thinking about you. And I'm like, yeah, I got to, I don't know. You know how it is. Who knows? I don't know. This is
So then,
wild time.
What about the one you were supposed to go for the drink with and she fell asleep? That's over. Nothing's happening there.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not. I look back at her pictures. I look back at her stuff the next day, and I don't really want to hang out with her.
Okay. And the New Year's Eve girl.
doesn't want to be with me.
Okay. And the 4 years ago girl.
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So here we go. We're moving on. We're starting fresh now.
Yeah.
We're starting fresh. I like it.
Can I just get to the would you rather?
Yes. Are you okay? Well, before you do, now, are you feeling okay about all this? Because I feel like you're a little bit down, but I actually feel this is all pretty positive. You've realized you shouldn't go down the road that you've already traveled, I think. You've realized that now, haven't you?
Yes.
And what worked out with the girl, the Passover, day after Passover girl, that worked out the way it probably should have worked out. So it's all positive. The worst thing, if you didn't get sex, that would have been pretty sad. But you got some sex.
Really good sex.
What do you do for Passover with your family?
Well, we went to the rabbi's house for the first night.
Yeah.
And the rule that the rabbi says, you have to drink 4 full glasses of wine.
This guy's
dinner.
Awesome.
That's the kind of rabbi I want.
Yeah, so we just drank a ton. And then there's like kids and they're standing on the chairs and there's like 10 plagues, like Pharaoh's like 10 plagues on you Jews. And there's like the kids have like fake flies and bouncy balls and gum they throw at you and things fall like frogs and locusts. It's a mess. And then we go to my grandma's the next. Then we go to my grandma's the next day, and it's like relax. It's like a 5-minute seder. We have some gefilte fish and matzo ball, watch some sports, and then fall asleep.
Okay, so you get it's like the kids kind of act it out like a play.
Yeah, the kids are like they're like singing it like on the chairs, and they're like clapping their hands, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like it's like 3.5 hours into we haven't eaten yet. We're there at 8. We don't start eating till 11:30.
So if I ever get invited over to Passover, bring some food?
Bring some snacks?
Snacks in my pocket?
Drink before. Yeah, you want to be a little tipsy before you go to.
So let's get to the would you rather. And
It's time for Would You Rather.
Okay, so since I didn't give one last time, I have 2. And Dan, you just got to work with me here. I know, you just have to. The first one's an oldie but goodie. We did a version of this on the last one. So it's would you rather have sex
Why
with
every
your
time?
cousin and no one knows, or don't have sex with your cousin and everyone thinks you did?
Why does every one of your would you rathers involve incest? Like, you need to talk to someone. Every single one. Have you realized this?
They make you think.
Everyone.
Okay.
So which one, Toolsy? Wait. Toolsy has an
The
answer.
one that does not involve incest is my answer.
But everyone's going to
But
think
everyone
you
thinks
did.
you did. Everyone in your life. Your
Yeah.
mom.
Good for them. I'll just say, well, it didn't happen, so let's move on.
But they'll still think it. They'll be like, oh, he's lying to us. He
well.
banged cousin Betty.
I know the truth. Next.
Yeah, the woman, she put the finger in the hole.
That was a good one. I like that one a lot. All right.
Okay, Jay, this one will be for you. We'll
Okay.
just leave this one for you, Jay.
Okay.
Would you rather have sex, Dan, you know where I'm going with this,
With your
Kate?
mom.
No, with Kate Upton,
Okay. Yeah.
but she has a penis,
Okay.
or Brad Pitt, who has a vagina?
Oh, man. That is actually a pretty good one. I think, weirdly enough,
Just makes
I
no
don't, I'm stumped because I think my initial reaction is to go Kate, but then I think, well, if Brad has a vagina, and he is a handsome guy,
It's got to be a decent one, right?
I'd probably go with Brad there in that situation. Dan, over to you.
Nope, that was to you. Thanks for coming on, Ben.
Ben, this is one for the ages, buddy. You did it.
All right, guys. Until next time.
See you, buddy. Man, Ben Teller really makes every podcast special, doesn't he?
Each time he's on, it's like after you watch an episode of Hoarders and you're like, oh, man, why did I do that?
Or My Strange Addiction.
Yeah, you're like, ugh.
I think I'm just a penis guy.
But he kind of made progress, but then took several steps back.
Nah, I'm just gonna hang out with my roommate. You don't want? Nah, I'm good.
He was chilling. It was a busy Passover weekend. He didn't have the energy for phone sex.
Yeah, if he was 50 or 60, sure. But he's in his 20s, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's in his late 20s, yeah. Mid to late 20s.
He should be clawing his way up that wall.
Well, yeah, he said the sex was good, but then he also, in the same breath, said, well, it was obviously wasn't that into her. He had sex with her once and then didn't want to have phone sex with her. Wanted to hang around with this roommate.
And it was like 2 days prior.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
just not the right
No.
woman. for him.
So I guess Natasha won't be coming on. I don't know what happened.
She
Maybe she's on a plane. She might be flying back for all I know.
or just ignoring you.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Well, I don't know if you do. A lot of people will text you back.
Yeah.
That'd be great if everyone in your family thought you'd had sex with one of your first cousins.
Hey, I'm going to Bristol this weekend.
Speaking of the South. Okay, yes. Now, this is exciting. Is this...
With our friends at NASCAR Canada.
Are you still... you're doing a little work for these guys, right?
So we're going to shoot something. I actually have to work because Pinty's is running a contest in which you can win VIP tickets to the next Bristol race. So we're going there. We're going to shoot from in the suite and stuff. And yeah, awesome. If you ever get to do a NASCAR experience, try win it because then it's free.
Yeah, that's better. Try to win the free one first. And if that doesn't work, then pay for something.
So I've never been to Bristol. Really looking forward to it.
Oh, this is a track you haven't been to?
No, it's short.
Okay.
It's like a little coliseum.
So
in Tennessee.
When you get there, you say you have to work. Are you filming like a commercial or something?
2 60-second spots that'll run during Sunday's race. So if you tune into
man.
Sunday's race, I'll be there.
Just
Hey!
bombed.
Hey!
Your face cherry red, your eyes blurry.
No, we're doing it in the morning. Then we shotgun beers as soon as the camera turns off.
At lunchtime.
You'll have no shirt on. They're the panties.
And I get to do play-by-play of a wing eating contest.
Oh, that could be fun.
Yep.
You should invite Ben to that.
We're going to do an interview with our buddy Cole Pern.
Cole
which
Pern,
is,
great guy.
Martin Trix Jr.'s
the champion crew chief. That's right.
So
Canadian.
He's pumped because he's a big Leaf fan.
Loves the Buds. Buds are going to the postseason against the Boston Bruins. How excited are you about NHL hockey on the Golf Channel in the States?
So weird.
What
I can't.
The is with that?
We're going to be knee deep in the playoffs next podcast.
It's great.
I'll be coming straight from the airport to work on Monday. So we should have lots of good tales.
What's your take on NHL playoff hockey on the Golf Channel?
I don't care. Doesn't affect me.
But let's say, no, I know it doesn't affect you, but do you think it's a good look for the NHL?
No, but they just prior programming on the other CNBCs and
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah. That's what they're saying, Toolsy. I don't believe it.
Golf Channel probably has pretty good viewership.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying it's the Golf Channel. The channel is the Golf Channel.
No.
And NHL playoff hockey is being put on it.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's a bad look. Everyone's like, no, that's fine. No, it's not fine. It's on the Golf Channel. It's a bad
NHL.
sign.
And fix your freaking playoff format.
Garbage.
So stupid. Anyway, yeah, if I wasn't going to Bristol, I would have been in Winnipeg for the Friday night game there because I mentioned we're off Friday, Saturdays. Oh,
yeah, you could have flown up. You could have gone, hung out.
Awesome.
That would have been fun.
So, Jets need to make the second round and have a game on a Friday or a Saturday night.
That'd be perfect. Or the following. Ooh, maybe we could stay.
Yeah, because we're going to be in Toontown. What's that flight, like an hour?
Yeah. You could stick around. If they have that'd be good. Got to talk to my wife about that. See how that goes over.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. tough week here in Canada, but hopefully the last 30 minutes help take your mind off things, because that's what we're literally here for.
I think it was an hour, actually.
But the first 30, we talked about the accidents.
But if anything's going to take their mind off their problems, it's Ben Teller.
Yeah, it's just so confusing.
Honestly, folks,
Jay.
I really hope if you haven't donated to the GoFundMe page, just kick in a little bit. This is an amazing story. And yeah. Keep everybody in your thoughts. Thanks for listening.